Yeah, thank you.
Welcome to all on the Be a Man series. In today's talk show, our speaker is a Qatar resident and originally from India, Mr. Azim Abbas. Mr. Abbas is the president of the Indian Business and Professional Council, Qatar, and successful businessman who is running his diamond and jewelry business in Qatar, in Middle East, and in India. Join hands together to talk openly and redefine what is the meaning of be a man. And welcome and here are today's speaker, Mr. Azim Abbas. Mr. Abbas, welcome on this platform.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shashi Goel. It's an honor to join you on this the show, which is like going around in circles and has been talked about a lot. So I'm really honored to be with you, and I wish you all the very best for your future endeavors and your future shows.
Thank you. I'm really excited to hear about your journey, your life, and as you said, life comes in circles. So we would like to talk about and starting from your early life and how your family contribution, how your family helped you the way today you are as a successful business person. You are a president of many international organizations and bodies. So tell about your early life experiences and all.
Well, first of all, no, I don't know really that if my life is worth listening to for your listeners, but definitely I will be having something to share. And I don't want people to get inspired by me, but I would just like, to add that there will be youngsters, teenagers watching this show. And if they can pick some tidbits from here and there, and, if it's useful for them in their life, then I'll be happy. But
definitely, I believe each one of us have something in us unique, which cannot be transferred, but we can transfer through our voice by sharing our experiences, our stories, these beautiful incidents. So we would like to hear and get those inspirational doses in terms of small tips and bits, as you said. So please go ahead.
Well, Dr. Shashi, I would just like to start that, I grew up in a peaceful family, with values for life. I was well provided, so didn't actually face any challenges. Mm-hmm. But frankly, I would be very frank in talking, but frankly, my parents did face challenges from me because the era in which I was born and the times in which I grew, and I would like to mention that I have grown up in the city of Mumbai. So the time when I was a teenager, and when it was that time that we had this image of angry young man Amitabh Bachchan, and we had this all mafia in Mumbai, and Mumbai was a place which was really fun to live, but at the same time you needed survival. Yeah. You needed to really be strong, and you really needed to be a person who can look after himself, look after his family. So that was the time. And if I still recollect, although I enjoy it, but then I feel sad about it. That was the way how we grew up, and our teenage life was like a roller coaster. And like it was not like today's time. I see a lot of difference between this last 35 years or beyond that. I see there is a lot of difference in the quality of life, in the perception how people take life. So this is a big difference. But my times were a little bit like rough kind of times. We sailed in the rough seas.
Yeah, that's beautiful the way you shared like the era when people were so much inspired and motivated by the image of angry young man. And you got in a live way, the way you explained this story and image about the life. But when we are talking all about these image about angry young man and to be survival, there was a different purpose. This was not about the having the harmful feeling towards other. It was more about, as you mentioned, in your survival instinct, which is, I think,
It was a way of life. Yeah, you can say it was a way of life that in those days it was a way.
Yeah. So a similar way, like this is about survival. We are talking about survival, which is not only in human. We have every living being, whether we are talking about animal or human, we all have survival instinct. But when we are talking about as a life and having a kind of emotions, a kind of having those feelings when you have family and all of, around you. So if we are trying to recollect, or we are trying to look in your life about your contribution of maybe your mother, or maybe your sister, your wife, whoever was in your life, they helped you in the way maybe you feel, how you find their contribution in your life.
Well, my mother is a tough woman. She's still with me, okay, and she always wanted me to grow smart, wise,
Yeah.
humble,
Yeah.
but with a style and attitude,
Mm-hmm.
to some level, I can say.
Right.
So definitely, she always wanted me to be like strong for myself. Although it's unfortunate that I don't have a sister, okay, and this is something which I always feel, that I don't have a sister, because when you have a sister in the house, it's totally a different story. Like you have somebody to confide to, you have somebody to talk for you, support you in the family, stand for you.
Right.
So these things I have missed. But definitely, I would say that as times passed, and as I grew, because my education was in a co-education school. Okay, so there is a perception that boys who go to co-education school, and the boys who goes to the only boys school. Okay, so there's a lot of difference, because that thought in mind is always there.
Right.
And in Mumbai, I was very fortunate that I went to St. Mary's High School, and it was a co-education school. So that's how you get the qualities of life, because it is nothing new when you suddenly see a woman, or you suddenly see a girl. Okay, so it's nothing new for you, because you have already had a life
Work
with
with them.
them, the
Right.
culture. Yeah. So, and you already know about gender equality, because when you go to a school like this, then you have all these kind of things. So definitely, I grew up like this. Although my teen, like I said, was rough, but then my schooling and all was very gentle, and my mother always taught me that do what you want to do, but you have to be humble. That's what she's taught me.
Yeah, that's beautiful share. Again, I would just like to say, your mother really put very nicely those seed in your mind, in your personality, being humble with everyone. And as you shared about your learning and having co-ed education, you really bring that very important topic when we are talking about be a man and bringing this co-education system, especially when we are talking this how one can be humble, how one can see those balance between masculine and feminine personalities in as a human, rather than seeing those um, only bodybuilder or all those kind of personality. So when we are talking about this co-education system, since very early child age, I can say, because we are learning together, we are playing together, we are sharing all those kind of movements. So it brings different perspective. But do you have any other incident or any other contradict share where you can feel your other friends who might not be having this co-education system, and you might have noticed something different in them rather than having similar perspective like you have?
Well, incidents as such, there are many. Okay, but again, I go back to my teenage life when I was really rough and with attitude and with all these things.
Right.
And then at the age of 25, I got married. Okay, so I do believe that since not having a sister at home, okay, I was kind of a bullish kind of guy, okay, with a lot of attitude and a lot of style, and the way I used to live my life was totally different. But after my marriage, it did take little time. I can't say, I can't just say that it just happened overnight. No. But after my marriage, okay, I'm married to Zainab, okay, and I do always say that angels do exist, but sometimes they don't have wings and they are called wives. So I don't know how many would relate to this, but I definitely relate to this because, just after 1 year of our marriage, we had our first daughter, Sabrina, okay? And when she came to our life, okay, so the entire perspective of life changed. Having a girl child, because my entire family is like this, that we don't have a girl child. My uncles don't have, my cousins don't have. So I was the first one to have a daughter in my house. And this entirely changed, because I mellowed down a lot. My life was totally, like a flamboyant. I was traveling. I was so busy with my business. I'm into sports activities and I'm into huge time friends. So my life was totally different. But once Sabrina came to our house, and once, I came to really, say, any marriage takes time to, get into a proper kind of balancing. So by that time, me and my wife were, on the same page, okay? And I mellowed down a lot. And, I learned really from my wife that, that I have to be very courteous. I have to be very, a man with a level head. I can't be just talking out of turn. I have to give respect to my wife, to other ladies around me. So this beautiful things, I just learned, frankly speaking, after I got married to Sarah.
Beautiful, and it's really inspiring and motivating. I must say that that's the way you shared about your, transition and those moments about how it happens as an individual, but definitely it's inspiring and motivating for many others who sees and who might be having similar kind of maybe background or things. They might not be having sisters or maybe something like that. So when we all are talking about how you define be a man meaning or a definition?
Well, being a man is a very, very difficult question to answer. It's not that somebody can just because everybody has got a different perspective in life. But
Right.
I would definitely like to say that a man has to have a character, a very good character. So character in the sense, I believe that, that this character should be that it should make all the people around you happy with good vibes, okay? And you have values and principles and ethics for life. So this is one main thing I think that, a man should be really having. Maturity is very important because, I feel that many men in the teenagers or still in the mid ages, they have a lot of maturity problem because maybe they're I see that most of the people are afraid of commitment.
Right.
So commitment comes only with maturity. You just don't talk and say that, okay, I will do this, but you don't fulfill that commitment.
Right.
Even the words you choose to talk, the attitude in which you talk to people. So this all comes with maturity. Like if you say that what I learned with maturity, I would say that I have learned something like that if I shake somebody's hand, okay, so I have learned with maturity that I really understand that this person who shakes your hand is like who is he actually. If he shakes your hand softly or strongly, or he just gives you half hand, so this kind of people you can understand with just a handshake, because what is in his heart, okay, is in his hand. So if he presses your hand strongly and greets you, that means he's going to be a friend forever. But if he gives just the four fingers and he wants to greet you, then this man is never, like you cannot believe this person. So this comes with maturity. I would also say intelligence.
Right.
Intelligence is very important because like you have to apply yourself. In today's time, when we are talking about artificial intelligence, okay,
Right.
and in my time,
Right.
I thought that intelligence was something, that a man should possess. So now we are talking about artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
So times are changing, but intelligence definitely is required. Compatibility, okay, your commitment towards your work, towards your family, towards your children, and how you get along with people. That is very important, because I believe that if you are a family man, okay, and if there are some decisions to be taken, so it has to be, compatible with the entire family.
Right.
Business, same. You have to have a team to take. Because gone are those times when men used to take decision from themselves or for their businesses. Okay, those times are gone because this is a evolving process of life. Where like these are the times when you all have to be on one page and all have to take a collective decision. And if it happens for all. If it falls for all. So not just one man is to be blamed for this. And I like this idea. So I think fear of God is also something which really makes a man,
Yes.
because I do believe that that beautiful life does not just happen.
Hmm.
It's built daily in prayers, humanity, sacrifice.
Right.
So these all things evolve around a man, and I think that a man should just live his life with this few principles, simple ones.
Right.
I, that should be all about it. Yeah.
Yes, yes, I totally agree with that. That's having a commitment is a kind of committing yourself, your values, your ethics, your principles, and all together. When you're bringing all these on in your conscious behavior, in your lifestyle, it makes you a man. It makes you a person. Even I can say, because you are rather than receiving, you are giving, as you shared, by sacrificing, by doing some of humanity, and all these creates value in our life. So this is such a insightful and thought-provoking for all of us, for all our audience and those are listening us. But just before we finish, I just would like to ask if you can share one message for our youth, especially those are listening and watching us, what kind of thing they should have in their mind, if we concise in a one line for thinking as a be a man, rather than really getting inspired and motivated or influenced by those mismatched, I would say mismatched or a misrepresented image of be a man in the media. What one line message would you like to give to those youth?
See, first of all, I wouldn't be giving a message because that
With
it's
your
like
life experience, with your life on experience, I would just interrupt it between, just because you have a lot of experience, you have seen those era, you have seen those as you shared, angry young man and all, but how you modulate, how you become the way you are today. So it can be helpful or a good learning for our youth.
okay. I understand your question. So surely, like I told that my life changed after my marriage, and the process started going into a different direction. So it so happened that in the early 2000s, I had the privilege of meeting Mother Teresa in Calcutta. Okay, and I was totally mesmerized to talk to her, to know her, to look at her lifestyle. So these things, really touched me a lot. I started picking up and doing things which I was not really, never gave a thought about it. So, like I devoted my time for community service. I devoted my time to some NGOs, which I am still working with, okay, for empowerment of women and for education of, orphans. I'm very proud that we have done a massive job since last 1.5 decade. We've been doing this. So after meeting Mother Teresa, the entire perception of my life has changed. Okay, and it is really tragic that in the 21st century, we still have to answer questions of gender equality, and still the whole culture refuses to tell the man that their manhood includes a peculiar kind of care for women. You know, I believe alone we can do so little. Together we can do so much. You know, it's now time for coexistence.
Yes.
Where there is love, there is life. We all know that. And I guess that what's happening around us today, I see the younger generation, okay, they don't actually face a problem like my generation faced. Because if you just talk about Qatar, okay,
Right.
you can see that after Qatar Foundation came up, okay, there is a significant change in the attitude of a male or a woman, okay. Coexistence is very common now. I don't feel that this generation will have any problem of coexisting like my generation did have. Okay, I'm very happy to see this, that that they gel around very nicely, culturally or professionally. They gel around. But there is one thing, this generation is into the fast lane now. They're running too fast now. I do agree that there has to be a certain hunger or fire in the belly for career, for money. But at the same time, youngsters are running too fast. They should forget that we all come in this world for a limited time. Time flies. I would just say that don't forget to live your life at every age. You don't push your dreams too far away like I did. I did a lot of business. I did a lot of community service. I couldn't find family from time for my family. But then I realized at a certain age. But still, I thought that a good part of my age, when I was in the youth age or whatever it is. So that time I have lost that. I didn't find time for myself. So I just believe that that this new generation is much better than my generation. Okay, and now it's time for them to take over. And that it is very evident that today's time coexistence and a male and a female has to be there. Without that, like a man cannot just support himself. It has to be a mutual between a husband and a wife, or a man or a woman. It has to be very mutual. So times have changed, and I'm happy that we are into an era where we see that that coexistence or gender equality definitely is going to be in the West. I do believe that it's already there. Subcontinent, it will still take time.
Wow, wow, wow. That's beautiful, and that's very powerful message. Once again, thank you so much, Mr. Abbas. It was such a great pleasure to hear from you and having you for creating and meaning to be a man. Thank you. And I want to congratulate you for your work, for your business, for your community service, and your commitment for humanity. It is commendable. And thank you once again.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shashi, for having me. And I hope that whatever I spoke is worth enough for the listeners to, just listen to it.
Yes, I do believe stories have power in it to create meaning for our life and for others. So definitely it is worth, and our audience and our viewers will get benefit out of it. So once again,
I always give a message to the people of my generation, because like I told that we hardly have time for ourselves. So I just give them a very simple message that time has no holiday, dreams have no expiry date, and life has no pause button. Live it, love it. Enjoy each and every moment of your life. Keep only those memories that bring twinkle to your eyes and not wrinkle to your face. So live life and enjoy each and every day, whether it be a rainy day or a sunny day. You have to live and enjoy it. Thank you, Dr. Sashi.
Yes, wonderful. Once again, and I'm happy to have those twinkle in my life and rather than wrinkle in. And same time, I believe same for our viewers. And once again, thanks to all viewers for becoming part of this process by listening and watching and joining us to create meaning of Be a Man. See you in the next episode. Till then, keep creating a better self and better world. Bye bye. Take care.